Hi, this is Jonathan Eccleston, and Guardians Volume 3, or as people know it as Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, has definitely shown to crush Ant-Man Quantumania at the box office, because at the moment, globally, it stands that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 has made around 520 million, and that number's just going to continue to fly up because it's only been out for 2 weeks, while Ant-Man Quantumania managed around 450 million worldwide, around that ballpark figure, which is not very good because I'm pretty sure that's under or around the same as the first Ant-Man movie. I think it's definitely under, because I think the first Ant-Man movie, if I recall correctly, made just over 500 million worldwide, and it's definitely under than the Ant-Man sequel, Ant-Man and the Wasp. So clearly showing that Ant-Man Quantumania was a dud of an MCU movie, but one that clearly didn't hit with audiences and no one really wanted to watch at the end of the day. Therefore, it was important that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 came out of the gate strong. I think it had a very serviceable opening weekend, but I think its second weekend has shown that clearly good word of mouth is electrifying for Guardians Volume 3, and that's why it's already passed Ant-Man Quantumania at the box office and is really crushing what Ant-Man Quantumania did, and really embarrassing Ant-Man Quantumania at the end of the day, because of course people are going to compare all these MCU movies that come out this year and the box office they make. That's just going to be a given at the end of the day, and through comparing them you clearly see that Ant-Man Quantumania is a massive failure of a superhero movie on all accounts, not only from a quality perspective when it comes to critic reviews and what audiences think of the movie, but particularly from a financial standpoint, because financially it's important. It doesn't matter if critics hate a movie or audiences hate a movie, the financial results definitely make a movie a hit or a failure, and Ant-Man Quantumania is without a doubt a failure, while Guardians Volume 3 with its global total so far is a success. It'll be interesting to see with now competition barreling down that kind of gun and firing away at Guardians Volume 3 with The Little Mermaid and the next Fast and Furious movie. If Guardians Volume 3 can continue its momentum and continue adding huge box office numbers to its overall tally to get it really up there, because I believe that Guardians Volume 3 to be a real massive success, I think it just needs 800 million or more at the end of the day to make that much money. But even if it ends up between 700 and 800 million, I don't think that's anything to sneeze at or cough. I think that's a very serviceable and respected number for Guardians Volume 3, especially with, I think, the level of kind of credit you have to hand it to Guardians Volume 3, that it's coming off such a massive dud and such a turn-off MCU movie like Ant-Man Quantumania, which definitely, I think, has affected Guardians Volume 3 when it came to its opening numbers and people's faith in the MCU. But at least the MCU can be thankful, as I've already stated, because Guardians Volume 3 has kind of saved the MCU from being an absolute wreck in the graveyard and being buried alive by giving it at least a fighting chance. A pulse will have you in that the MCU still has a global audience available to it, and that clearly if you put out quality or have the right people making these MCU movies like a James Gunn, then people will continue seeing the MCU and what it has to offer, and clearly a level of interest is clearly still there, and especially that's going to continue to become prevalent when it comes to Guardians Volume 3 continuing its box office run, because it's only been 2 weeks, which I have to make sure to make clear at the end of the day. So I love to hear your comments below of what you think about Guardians Volume 3 absolutely embarrassing Ant-Man Quantumania when you compare those two movies' box office numbers, especially when Guardians Volume 3 has already surpassed Ant-Man Quantumania in just 2 weeks into its run. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button and give this video a like to support this channel. So thank you for watching, and it's goodbye from me for now.